back with another video. To all of my subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing, for commenting, for liking, for sharing my videos. I appreciate your support. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Again, my name is Fearfully Made, and on this channel we talk about Yah's laws, statutes, commandments. We do some Bible study, and I also share some words of encouragement in hopes that it may uplift someone. So if you're interested in joining my YouTube family, definitely hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell if you would like notification of my future uploads, okay? And so I'm not going to read the chat until I'm done with this message because I don't want to get like distracted or anything like that. I'm kind of new to YouTube, so please forgive me in how I kind of navigate this whole thing, okay? Also, to all of my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I definitely noticed that there's been a little bit of a spike. I'm so used to like my 40 subscribers, you know, so you know, as you guys are joining me, I'm just like, wow, like this is actually happening, you know. So I'm really grateful and I'm really thankful to have you guys join my channel, and I just pray that the Most High speaks to you through me. Before I get started, I just kind of want to note something, okay? This topic is about forgiveness, and I was watching someone on YouTube earlier. I don't have their permission to say their name on my channel, so I'm not going to say it. But I was watching this guy on YouTube, and he made this comment, and what he said was, there's been a hike, and all of these people going on YouTube talking about what's happening to your enemies. This is what's happening to your enemies. Your enemies are going through this, that. Now your enemies are this, now your enemies are that. And when you're operating in a spirit of unforgiveness, then it's really intriguing, and I've been there. That's how I know. Just like totally unforgiving, you know, wanting to know what's going to happen to my enemies all the time, especially when I was operating in the spirit of unforgiveness. You know, and just kind of like getting drunk off of those, you know, messages, you know what I'm saying? Which is definitely not good. So, try to, if you really, really want to like elevate spiritually, and you really just want to remove that blockage, which is unforgiveness, I would definitely not, entertain so many prophetic words that, you know, are about your enemies. So I know that the ones that I was listening to were true, because I was actually witnessing it happen to enemies of mine. But even though it's true, it's not something that I needed to be listening to all of the time, because I was operating in the spirit of unforgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm still human. So like when people hurt my feelings, of course I'm gonna get upset. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you're making you're taking the necessary steps to correct your wrong, then you're in right standing with the Most High. But if you're operating in unforgiveness, you don't really care to work on what it is that you're holding bitterness or resentment towards, then that's when, you know, you're messing up. So the point is don't really pay too much attention to what's happening to your enemies, because first of all, you don't really want, like, you shouldn't really want anything bad to happen to them. You should want them to come to repentance, like the Most High does. The Most High doesn't want our enemies to die. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to our enemies. He just wants them to get it together, and that's the reason why he does what he does. He's, you know, punishing them because, you know, because of you, you know. I mean, he's doing it because he doesn't like what they did to you, but at the same time, you know, he's really just doing it to get them to come closer to him, you know. So it's like, not that he hates them, he just wants them to draw closer. And so tonight's topic is about forgiveness, okay? So when I woke up this morning, the Most High led me to Matthew chapter 6. So if you have a Bible, definitely take a moment to go over to Matthew chapter 6. And I honestly, after I read this, I cried, because I felt like he was talking to me and speaking to my spirit like, I just started to cry because I feel like there were some people, like, I can forgive anybody that I don't know, like, it's whatever, you know. But if it's like someone that you like shared the same couch or shared the same bed with, you know what I'm saying, someone that you that used to babysit you when you were a child, you know what I'm saying, someone that, you know, who you used to call when you had issues in your personal life when you were younger, someone you used to call for help, you know, if you like had any troubles in a certain area of your life, you know, like if it's those people, someone that you shared blood with, someone that you used to have a, you know, intimate relationship with, those type of people are harder to forgive than people that you don't have any what's the word, any kind of emotional attachment to. It's always been easy for me to forgive a stranger, because to me, in my mind, I'm like, you just don't know me and you don't know any better, so you're forgiven. But when it's someone who knew you, even the book of Psalms talks about how it's usually a friend or someone closer to you that's really the one that's going to do you in. You know what I'm saying? That's why always be aware of those who are closest to you, because those are always the ones that will end up doing you in, like Judas. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's get to the passage that the Most High led me to when I woke up this morning. I'm gonna start doing these videos probably in the car more, or like outside of the house, because it gets too lit with the kids and everybody kind of turning up. So I do apologize for yesterday. It was a little bit hectic. Here we go. Here it goes. So it was Matthew chapter 6 verse 14, and it reads, "For if ye forgive men of their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if ye forgive not men of their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive you your trespasses." And so what the Most High is saying in this passage, this is actually Jesus speaking, because the letters were in red in my other Bible. What it was saying was, if you don't forgive others, the Most High is not going to forgive you. And that's a huge blessing that you're blocking on top of others. You know what I mean? That's a really big blessing that you're blocking, because you want the forgiveness of the Most High always. Always. Like, if God doesn't forgive you, you're popped. You're so popped. And so sometimes forgiveness is hard when someone's really hurt you. Like, honestly, when I found that I was really unforgiving towards someone, I literally started crying because I wanted to forgive that person, and I just didn't know how to. So I just started crying out to God. I said, God, I just really want to forgive these people so bad, but I just don't know how. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. Like, how do I really release these people from my spirit? You know what I'm saying? And so, like, Google just kind of popped up in my mind. Like, and I don't ignore anything that just randomly pops up. Like, I feel like anything that randomly just pops up in your mind, do not brush it off. That's the Most High putting a thought in your mind. It sounds crazy, but just bear with me. That's how I get a lot of my ideas for projects that I'm working on. It'll just be like this idea or this thought that just comes out of nowhere. And I'll be like, thank you, Most High, because he's putting that download in your mind. So for some weird reason, he wanted me to Google the definition of forgive, right? And so I ended up Googling the definition of forgive. And the word forgive means to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. It doesn't say be friends with them. It doesn't say go and hang out with them and be buddy-buddy. It just says to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. Okay? Yep, those spiritual downloads, exactly. Yep. And so I was like, okay, so, I don't really have to, like, be friends with this person again, but all that the Most High is just really asking me to do is to stop being mad at this person for what they did, or stop feeling any type. So basically, forgiving someone is just It doesn't mean being their friend again. It doesn't mean go kick it with them again, but it means to stop having those negative feelings towards them. Stop feeling any type of way at all towards them. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't even have any kind of emotional attachment towards the individuals that hurt you. And that's not really doing it for them, and you're really freeing yourself when you do that. You want to know why? Because as children of the Most High, we operate in light. We don't operate in darkness, right? And unforgiveness, it brings us into darkness. It brings negativity in our minds and in our hearts, like really dark negative energy. You know what I'm saying? And so if we want to continue to stay in the light, we have to release whoever did whatever to us. We have to let it go, because if we don't, then it's only going to get darker and darker and darker. You want to know why? First, it starts with unforgiveness, right? It starts with unforgiveness. And then once you find an opportunity to retaliate or to get revenge upon the person that did you wrong, there's going to be a big part of you going to want to take that opportunity. That's going to want to take that chance to attack the person that you still have resent towards, that you still have anger towards, that you still have bitterness towards, the person that offended you, right? And so it's like, if we completely just cut off that negative energy, cut off feeling darkness towards whoever it is that we're mad at, we're not going to make decisions that's going to affect us in the future, poor decisions. Because that person that you have unforgiveness towards is probably the person that the Most High is going to use to bless you in the future. I'm going to tell you something right now. I would not be sitting in this car as a licensed driver right now if I hadn't forgiven the person that took me to take my driver's test a couple years ago. Like, I never ever had support from like family or friends. I've always been like the type to kind of ride dirty, okay? And it sucks, don't judge me, but whatever. I was always riding dirty, okay? Like, I always had a car for the most part. I've usually always had a car. But when I always had a car, I would ride without my license, right? And it's because I couldn't find anyone to support me enough to come with me so that I can take my driver's test and actually get my license. The person that took me to get my driver's license was someone that I hadn't spoken to in almost 5 years, because we were holding bitterness, unforgiveness, and resentment towards each other. She was actually my sister's best friend, but we had this situation where we were kind of like falling out. We almost got into like a physical fight. And we always told each other and people around us, like, if I ever see her or if she ever see me, it's on site, you know? And then I started walking with the Most High, and the Most High, I came back to the city where she was, and the Most High was like, you need to make up with this girl. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to talk to that chick. Like, she's been threatening to fight me and telling everybody when she see me, it's on site. And I told her whenever she see me, it's on site. So when I see her, we gotta stick to our word, y'all. And he's like, no, because you're not doing that anymore. I'm like, all right. And so, like, when I saw her, you know, I told her, I'm like, you know what? Like, I really need to just apologize for anything that I've ever done wrong. You know, and she was actually receptive. And she was like, you know what? I forgive you, and I'm sorry for everything that I've done wrong to you too. And she actually took the time, like, she took a day off of work and took the time to take me to go get my license. Now I'm a legit driver, all because I forgave somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it feels to operate in the light. Good, like, blessings literally come from forgiving people and just letting things go. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so I made a little short list of maybe like 2 or 3 or 4 ways that can help you to forgive somebody. And this list is something that I've actually done for myself. This is what helps me operate in the spirit of forgiveness and allowing people to just releasing people in the spirit, and, you know, allowing myself to, you know, stay in the light. So the first thing on my list of forgiving is by changing my mindset towards the people that hurt me. Honestly, like, I've been going through a lot of persecution lately, so the devil's just really been trying to get me to hold on to bitterness, unforgiveness, resentment, all because of what the people were saying about me online. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, I went from being upset with these people and having bitterness and resentment towards these people to changing my thoughts towards them. Instead of being upset or bitter towards them, how I think about them now is they lack wisdom. If they knew the word, then they would, some of them probably do, but I feel like a lot of them didn't. So I feel like if a lot of them knew the word and they lived by his statutes and commandments, then they wouldn't have done the things that they did. I feel like a lot of them just simply didn't know what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one thing that helped me kind of just back off and not be so upset about it, was just understand that some of these people simply just don't know what they are doing because they lack wisdom. Okay. Another thing is, what helped me change my mindset towards it was, these people, if they had not done what they did to me, it would not have pushed me closer to God. I feel like a lot of my enemies, even being a targeted individual and being gang stalked, a part of me is a little grateful for that, because if I was never targeted, I would have never ever been as close to God as I am now. And so I even thank my gang stalkers and my handlers, you know what I'm saying, and all the people that target me and do me wrong for doing the things that they've done to me in the past, because I'm grateful for anything that pushes me closer to the Most High. So that's another thing. So those are two things that I think about my enemies. They lack wisdom. They just don't understand what it is that they're really doing. And if they had not done what they did, then I would have never gotten this Bible. I would have never gotten this word, because I had no relationship with God before I started getting targeted. I had no relationship with the Most High at all before I've learned about gang stalking and, being a targeted individual. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Bible, it helped me get through this entire process of being targeted, So that's one thing that I did. I changed my mindset and how I feel towards these people to going from being angry to having more empathy and understanding. You know what I'm saying? I can understand why they would do this, because they just don't know. I can understand, why this needed to happen, because they just don't know. You know what I'm saying? These people just don't know. So the second thing on my list that I do to help release unforgiveness and bitterness is, like I said, instead of getting angry, have empathy. Try to think outside of the box towards the situation. Hurt people always, always, always hurt people. The people that have done me wrong, they have some deep rooted issues in their personal life that they have not yet healed from, that they have not yet forgiven themselves. And when you hold on to bitterness, and you hold on to resentment, and you hold on to unforgiveness, then you tend to start bleeding on others that did not even cut you in the first place. Okay? You start bleeding on people who did not cut you. I know what it's like to do that. I was in a real toxic relationship with a narcissist for a long time. And what happened was, I felt myself, since I was so hurt and so bitter about my toxic relationship and having to go home to arguments and being gaslighted, you know what I'm saying, and being told that I said this when I never said that, and just like the mind games. I was so bitter because of my own situation at one point, that when people would try to be my friend or come around, or if I had someone genuine in my life, I would somehow sabotage or ruin that relationship because I was operating in my own bitter energy. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not judging anybody who's bleeding on somebody that never cut them, because I know what it's like to do that. And all that simply just means is that you are operating in a spirit of unforgiveness, and you're still holding on to something that you have not yet healed from. That's all that means. Okay? Cry it out to release that intense energy. If you have such an intense amount of anger towards somebody, it's because they really hurt you. Okay? It's not because you're really, really mad at that person. They did something that really hurt your feelings. Now, being angry when you're hurt is a defense mechanism, because you don't want to seem weak. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to seem like you're inferior to the person that hurt you. You don't want to seem like, they won. You know what I'm saying? And so instead of crying, people tend to get angry. But the way that the Most High made us, okay, this is what we're naturally supposed to do. It's okay to do this. I just want somebody to know out there who's always real tough, who just really always got to be a man. You know what I'm saying? The Most High naturally made us to cry, because crying is a way to heal, right? Have you noticed that, like, when you cry, even when kids cry, they feel better after they're done crying? Like, they go, that's what I used to do when I used to get a whooping, or when I was a kid, or when my son cried, they go, they'll cry, but then they feel better. They're relieved after they cry, because crying relieves that intense energy that you were feeling towards that hurt. But some people, instead of crying, they hold on to that intense energy, and instead of releasing it in tears, they turn it into anger, which causes people to go in the grave, in the hospital, or in jail. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? So that's just people wanting to be tough all of the damn time, which is not okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to cry. What did my brother used to say? He used to say, you need your eye to cry. No, it's okay to cry, though. It's okay to cry. Because when you cry, you're healing yourself. You're releasing that intense energy, okay? So cry it out to release that intense energy, because that's the first start of healing, just releasing all that negative energy. If you really, really just feel like you can't get a good cry out, go to the gym. That's where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Hit the gym, work out. I know working out, for me, it's definitely been a lot of help. It's something that I've been relying on lately for all that I've been going through, and it's actually been like I've found it to be a nice coping mechanism for me in all of the pain that I deal with as well. Okay. It's definitely been making me feel a lot better. And then my last tip is to just move forward. Like, it's hard. You can't really necessarily let go of what someone has done to you, but you can try to forget about it. When you find yourself thinking about it, switch that negative thought with a positive thought. Even if it's a stupid positive thought. Like me, I know when I start thinking about something negative and I feel myself drifting off into a dark place, into like a dark state of mind, what I do, I'll think about something stupid, like Adam W on YouTube. Like, that dude, I'm talking about, he was anointed to be as silly as he is. Like, I watch Adam W a lot on YouTube. He's just real silly, bro. He's real funny. But think about something positive. Think about lilies, daisies. Even if, like I said, it can be a stupid thought. Think about something funny that someone said that just had you rolling the other day. You know what I'm saying? Or change your mind to think about something productive, like your projects that you're working on, your business, work. You know what I'm saying? Think about something productive. Try to get your mind off of that negative energy. Me, I just went through I just got slandered on a very wide scale on social media. And believe it or not, I don't even think about it. Only time I really talk about it is on here with you guys, because I want to let you guys know what I'm dealing with in my personal life. I want you guys to understand that I go through this too, so I'm with you guys. Like, I am being targeted right along with you guys, and if I can get through it, I know you guys can too. You know what I'm saying? And so that's pretty much all that I have for tonight. The Most High just wanted me to talk a little bit about forgiveness, and if you feel like it's just really hard to let go. Or no, I'm sorry, if you feel like you don't know where to start by just Googling what it means. What does it mean to forgive? What's the definition of forgiving? Like I said, it doesn't mean go be friends with these people, because you don't want to keep putting yourself through that headache. You know what I'm saying? It simply means to stop feeling angry, stop feeling resentful, and stop feeling bitter towards the people that hurt you. Completely let go of that energy, okay? Anyways, I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Y'all willing. Peace.